The crowd behind me was buzzing, but the only thing I heard was the thudding, ear-splitting sound of footsteps on the pavement. Rhythmic, clear, like the beats of a metronome. They neither sped up nor slowed down, as if they obeyed a strict, invisible order. The guardsman was approaching. I stood at the fence of Buckingham Palace, staring at his face. Or rather, where it should have been, under the shadow of a massive bear hat. His uniform was flawless, every seam, every button perfect. But something was off. People around me were clapping, laughing, making videos, but I couldn't look away. It felt like this particular guardsman was looking at me. Despite the still face, despite the iron discipline, he saw me. And then something happened that shouldn't have happened. He stopped. Here. In front of me. A second. 2. 10. Too long. I could hear the crowd quieting down. People began to whisper, to look around in bewilderment. The guardsmen must not stop. They must not break the rhythm. My throat constricted, my heart pounded. Hey, mate, he seems to like you. Someone nearby grinned. The guardsman slowly tilted his head and whispered, You're here for a reason. I froze. Guardsmen don't talk. I stepped back involuntarily, bumping into someone's cell. What did he say? It came from the side. Did you record that? Come on, mate. They're not talking. The crowd buzzed again, but now with a different tinge of alarm. Even the tourists, who usually tried to get the guardsmen emotional, now froze, feeling they were witnessing something wrong. And the guardsman, he was still standing in front of me. There was no expression on his face. Only the shadow of a bear hat hiding his eyes. I swallowed. What? You're here for a reason, he repeated. His voice was low, but not threatening. More like a man who's telling you a fact you don't understand yourself. I felt something cold run down my spine. Hey, is this some kind of performance art? Someone laughed, but it was a nervous laugh. The guardsman suddenly stepped forward. The crowd gasped. I heard someone behind me curse. That wasn't supposed to happen. Sir, step away from the fence. Came the sharp voice of the police, and immediately 2 guards rushed toward us. The guard didn't move. I still couldn't breathe. You're wrong, I muttered. He tilted his head slightly to the side, as if assessing me. No. At that moment, the policeman stepped between us. Sir, please step away from the guardsman. But I didn't know what I was. What do I say? That I was just picked for nothing? That I didn't do anything, but somehow I was the only person approached by someone who shouldn't move? The guardsman slowly straightened up. Not a single muscle on his face trembled. He stepped back and resumed his position. It's all right, keep moving, said one of the policemen, looking at me with obvious suspicion. But I was screaming inside that nothing was all right. This guard knew something I didn't know about myself. The crowd came into motion again, but now there was a wariness in the air. The laughter died down. The conversations turned to whispers. I stepped aside, feeling my heart still pounding in my chest. You're here for a reason. Those words stuck in my head like a splinter. I turned around. The guardsman stood at his post, motionless. It was like nothing had happened, as if I'd dreamed the whole thing. But it wasn't. I heard it. I saw him step forward, talking to me. And then, almost automatically, I slipped my hand into my pocket to pull out my phone. To look at the tape. There had to be something left. The screen lit up. Camera, gallery, blank. What the? I whispered. I was definitely filming. I remember pressing record. I remember holding the phone in front of me. I remember. And then I got a shiver. If there's nothing left, how is that even possible? Someone deleted it? How? I turned round. The cops were still standing nearby, talking on the radio. The guardsman. He was looking at me. I couldn't see his eyes, but I knew he was looking at me. The crowd began to disperse. Tourists were heading towards the souvenir shops, discussing what had happened. Some of them tried to dismiss it. It's just a show, I guess, a publicity stunt. Others threw slanted glances at me. What to do? Leave? Forget? But something inside was pulling me back. I rounded the fence, heading for the side passage. Cameras, guards, but there were fewer people. I had to figure out what it was. An accident? A delusion? A step. One more step. Sir. A sharp voice from behind me. A hand grabbed my shoulder. I turned round sharply, a young policeman, his face wary. You can't come in here. Go back to the main group. Listen. I hesitated. That guard. He was talking to me. You saw him, didn't you? The policeman frowned. Guardsmen don't talk. It's part of the protocol. But he, He said, "You're here for a reason." My voice trembled. The policeman stared at me for a second, then exhaled quietly. "Go home, sir." Fatigue. Nerves. Wouldn't be the first time tourists have imagined unnecessary things. These guys stand still for hours on end, and it can be knocked out. I opened my mouth, but had already taken a step back. Seriously, get some rest. Have some water. Get some coffee. Forget it. Forget it. The noise in my head is getting worse. What if it's real? What if it's not fatigue? I took a couple of steps to the side. There was a pounding in my chest. The air was suddenly heavy, like before a thunderstorm. I took one last look round. Guardsman. Still there. Unmoving. But where a clean sleeve should have glistened, there was something black. A stain? No. A mark? Squinted. It was far away, but looked like numbers. Or letters. I snatched up my phone, trying to zoom in with the camera. The image was jittery with nerves. Focus, come on. Letters. B17. What's that? Coordinates? A code? Step to the side. Again. The angles changed. There's a faint arrow under the numbers, pointing towards the lawn to the left of the palace. Holy shit. You're here for a reason. My insides clenched. I took a step that way. I took another. Nobody stopped me. Tourists hardly ever went there. Inconspicuous place, shade from old trees. And suddenly, something crunched under my feet. I lowered my gaze. An envelope. Shabby, crumpled, but sealed. It had the same letters on it. B17. My hand trembled. Should I open it? My heart beat like a drum in my temples. Shit. I exhaled. Okay. My fingers gripped the edge. The envelope was torn tight, as if it didn't want to open. The paper rustled under my fingers, dry, old, and inside was a key. Small, metal, tarnished with time. Simple. Ordinary. Except it's engraved on the back. 1700 hours. I looked at my watch. 1643. You've got to be kidding me. I exhaled. What is this? A joke? A prank? Or have I completely lost my mind? You're here for a reason. The guardsman was still standing there, unmoving. But what if he's waiting? Footsteps. Someone was walking behind me. I turned round sharply, a woman in a business suit, thin-rimmed glasses, looking right at me. Too hard. Can I help you? My voice shook. She smiled, coldly. Fake. You'd better hurry, she said. Time is of the essence. My heart skipped a beat. What? Who are you? But she had already turned and walked away, disappearing into the crowd. My brain screamed, "Get out of here. This is none of your business." But the legs wouldn't listen. 1647. Not much time. Thinking on the run, I dashed towards the gate. If the key. To what? The locker? The lock? What's in it? Why me? The noise of the city was suddenly deafening. The world seemed to shrink around one point. Me. Memories flashed through my mind. The morning at the hotel, the strange feeling that someone was watching. That woman, was she in the cafe? Or was it just me? Pull yourself together. Running past the surprised tourists, I noticed a small service entrance by the side wall. It's locked. I looked closer, a padlock. If now, I whispered. The key went in perfectly. It turned with a soft click. Gulping for air, I opened the door. It was dark. It smelled damp and metal. Can we go back? No. Too late. Step inside. Deafening silence. Only my own breathing and the pounding of my heart. The door closed behind me. Darkness. Felt the wall. A switch. Light flashed. Narrow corridor. Concrete walls. Old sign. B17. Arrow forward. You've got to be kidding me. I muttered. Running. Fast. My feet slid on the dusty floor. Every step echoed. 1654 dead end? No, a door. Metal rusty. A sign on it. Authorized personnel only. An authorized tourist. I grinned hoarsely. My hand twitched to the knob. TRRR. The phone vibrated. An unfamiliar number. Who is it? I shouted into the receiver. Pause. If you open it, there's no turning back, a man's voice said. Calm. Too calm. What is this all about? The voice broke into a shout. Silence. Then, make up your mind. Time. A beep. I swear, tossing the phone back in my pocket. You're here for a reason. 1658. My hand reached for the lock. I turned it. Metal rattled as the door opened. Cold air blows into his face. The room was old, concrete. In the center was a desk. On it, a folder and another envelope. I approached. My hands were trembling. I opened the folder and inside were photographs. Mine. Yesterday. At the airport. At the hotel. Today at the palace. FUCK. I recoiled. I opened the envelope. A leaf. Just 4 words. They already know. Run. A noise. Behind you. I turned round and there were men in black at the door. No words. Masks on their faces. I darted to the side wall. Bang. Am dizzy, but I keep running. Bullets whistling. Metal sparks. Corridor. Jump. A broken window. Through it. The air, cold, sharp. Hit the ground, pain in my side. But alive. A crowd. People turn round. Am in it. Blend in. Disappear. What was that? Who are they? Why me? Pulse in my ears, my breathing ragged. Somewhere in the distance, a guardsman. Watching. Unmoving. But I can feel that he started it. And it's not over yet. The crowd swallowed me up. The noise, the shouting, the cameras, all blended into one continuous hum. But my heart pounded in my temples, deafening me with its own pounding. I turned round. Where were they? The men in black. The same ones. No one. But I knew it wasn't the end. It was the beginning. My hands were shaking. The envelope in my pocket was burning my skin. They already know. Run. Run. I breathed out. Where the hell to? My mind was a jumble. The pictures, the key, the voice on the phone. And he's a guardsman. Where did it all start? Why me? My brain was screaming. Stop. But my body didn't. My footsteps quickened, turned into a run. I had to get away. The street opened up in front of me, cars honking. I darted across the road. Brakes squealed. Someone shouted a swear word. I don't care. The adrenaline was kicking in. Footsteps behind me. There they go again. Hey. Halt. A man's voice, loud, close. I didn't turn round. My legs carried me. The alley was narrow, damp. The smell of rubbish and damp hit my nose. But better here than the open space. Fire escape stairs on the right. Jump. Fingers gripping the metal rungs. Climbing. Feet slipping. But up. Only up. Last warning. Echoed from below. Fuck you. Came out with a wheeze. The roof. The wind. The cold chilled me to the bone. I turned round and there were 2 of them on the stairs. Run. Keep going. The roof turned into another. A jump. My heart sank into my heels. Pebbles rustled under his feet. The pursuer's boots beat on the metal behind. Get him. A shout. A jerk to the left. The air was caught. A hand caught a ventilating pipe. Pain, but no stopping. Falling, somersaulting, rising. Lungs burning, but no time to think. There's a door in front of my eyes. Old, iron. A jerk of a handle. It's locked. I don't care. A tap on the shoulder. Second. The door creaked. A third flew inside. It's dark. Stairs down. Footsteps from above. They're close. Down 2 flights, corridor. The lighting's dim. The lamps flicker. Where am I even running to? Stop. Turn. No exit. Shit, 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 shit. Footsteps coming closer. It's over. Is it over? This way. A woman's voice. From the side, the door's ajar. The same woman in the business suit. Her again. Who the hell are you? I'm screaming. Later. Faster. A choice? There isn't one. A dash inside. Door slammed shut. Massive deadbolt. Click. Silence. Deafening. Footsteps outside. Approaching. Stopping. Leaving. I was breathing hard. Sweat dripped from my face. What? This. That's it. That's it. The words came out with a gasp. The woman calmly pulled a folder from her inside pocket. Put it on the table in the small windowless room. Sit down. What? Her voice trembled. I was almost killed in there. Who are they? Who are you? You were warned. She glanced towards the door. There's not much time. Her fingers clenched into fists. I wanted to scream, but something in her voice said, listen. Just listen. I sat down. My heart was still pounding like crazy. She opened the file. Your name. She gave me a glance. Say it. You know, if you have these, pointed to the folder, the pictures. Say it. Pause. Lips pressed into a thin line. Tom. Tom Carter. Tom. She nodded. 32 years old. American. Flew in yesterday. It was a holiday. But She opened the folder and showed me the paperwork. There's no such reservation. The world has been rocked. It's a mistake. I have the receipt. On my phone, I got it. It's empty. No letters. No tickets. No reservations. Clear. My fingers are trembling. What? What? What have you done to me? I didn't. It's cold. It was them. The ones who were outside. But you, the key. What key? This one. I pulled out the metal one. No. She looked me straight in the eye. You. I got dizzy. What? 20 years ago, she began, there was an incident. A mind control program. A memory wipe. An experiment. Most of the subjects failed. One successful. You. That's bollocks. Jumped up. I'm an ordinary man. I work in a fucking office. What fucking experiment? How old are you? I interrupted. I said 32. Are you sure? The stare turned icy. Think back to your last birthday. Where were you? Who was there? How did you celebrate? My mouth dropped open, and it was empty. No, 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 no. Why? My voice trembled. I don't remember. Because you're a sleeper agent. The data warehouse. The key. Until this day, a normal life. But now, she sighed, you've been activated. The Guardsman is the signal. Time is ticking. It's impossible. My legs gave out, slumped back down. Everything was falling apart. Reality was coming apart at the seams. If you don't believe me, you'll die. They'll find you. They'll use you. Or destroy you. My breathing is ragged. My mind is chaotic. What do I do? The woman stood up. Follow me. There's a place, a sanctuary. They'll tell you everything there. She stopped at the door. And remember, you can't trust anyone. Not even me. Doubt. Fear. But there was no choice. Out or done. All right. Up. Lead the way. We stepped out into an alley where the city lived its normal life. Cars honked, tourists laughed, as if the world wasn't crumbling around me. Except, everything was different for me. The footsteps were getting faster and faster. A woman walked ahead, not looking back. Hey. I breathed out, trying to catch up. Will you at least tell me where we're going? Away, I said briefly. They find it fast. We don't have much time. The words pulsed in my head. You're the key. Experiment. Activated. This is bullshit. Nonsense. But each step, each new turn, took me further away from the familiar reality. We turned a corner, a deserted street. Gray walls, closed doors. She went to one, pulled out a card, swiped it across the reader. It clicked. Quickly. The door slammed shut behind us.